Thank you so much, Bandan Jabi. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to Lecker Treats. We'll wait for a few people to join today's live session. But before that, I hope everyone is doing wonderfully well. Hello, CA Global. Yeah. I hope we are all doing well. I'm trying to adjust the camera a bit, and then I'm also doing wonderfully well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, may I please know if you are watching online, you can just say hi so that we get to know each other. My name is Benedicta, and we started hosting. We've been cooking on Lecker Treats for some time now, but then we started hosting live sessions from just last week, and we had wonderful we made wonderful tuna shito with fried rice. It was awesome. It was a wonderful time. So please, if you are joining for the first time here, or you are just joining today's session, just say hello, and we'll get started in just a couple of minutes from now. Yeah. So in today's video, we're making pizza. We know if someone wants a quick fix, or that he or she is not going to make, we usually go for any Chinese meal, noodles or fried rice, or burger, or pizza. And I know that a lot of people love to eat pizza, both kids and adults. However, it's quite expensive to buy. Please hold on. Yeah, so as I was saying, pizza is quite expensive to buy it freshly made. And there are other alternatives that are cheap, like for instance, the frozen ones are cheap to buy, but then however, it contains preservatives. So if you want to make your own pizza at home, we are going to do that. It's very, very simple to do and put together, and we are going to do that today. We don't require much. It's just a few ingredients that we normally find around at home. So we'll get started right away with our dough. So please say hello. If you are online, just say hello. And it will be good to know where you are joining from. Yeah. So we'll start off with a pizza dough. We don't require much. We'll be using flour. To make your pizza, usually you need bread dough. However, if you don't have bread dough around, you can also use plain flour. And if you are here in Germany, the bread dough is usually the type 1050 when you go to the grocery market. Or you would, for the plain flour, it's this one. You have the type 405 for the plain flour. So if you want to make pizza and you want to shop around for it, please do get the bread dough, which is type 1050 here in Germany. Hello, Ayanfo. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Yeah, so as I was previously saying that we are going to make pizza today, and I'm trying to talk about the dough. We are beginning with our dough. And for the dough, you can use regular plain flour, but it's best when you use bread flour for it. And if you live here, the type 1050 in Germany, it's good to be used for your pizza dough. So for the ingredients, just a quick check through. We need our flour. Any type that you have should work fine. We need our yeast. and we'll be talking more about our yeast. Let's go through the ingredients and then we talk about our yeast. Please, if you are watching, kindly give this live session a thumbs up. It helps a lot for YouTube to recommend it to other people. So we already said we need our flour and we need our yeast. We need some salt. We need olive oil. And it helps to give you that flavor, the authentic Italian pizza flavor. So olive oil is really important. Just a regular sunflower oil or any other type of vegetable oil will not do. It will work, however, it wouldn't give you that authentic Italian pizza flavor. So please do well to get yourself some olive oil. Any brand of olive oil works fantastic for this. And of course, we need some sugar. So as I previously said, we need our yeast, and yeast is simple. Is simply a living organism which requires sugar. It feeds on sugar, and as it feeds on sugar, it multiplies in cells and also releases carbon dioxide alongside all other alcohols, which helps our dough to rise. And once our dough rises, it gives us that spongy and light texture that we usually find in leavened bread, the regular bread that we buy from our stores. So that's the purpose for our yeast. You can use the dry yeast. It's really convenient to use this. However, if you have the fresh yeast, kindly do so. And usually the fresh yeast needs to be activated earlier before adding it to our dough mixture. However, whenever I'm using the dry yeast, which comes in these sachets, I just simply add it to the dough, as we'll be doing today. We don't need to activate the yeast. We'll just add it straight to our flour and then start mixing our dough. Please, if you have any question as we are going along, you can ask and then we'll address it. So we'll start off by weighing. With all baked foods, it's always good to weigh your ingredients, and this is the scale I'm using. I got it off Amazon. It's convenient to use. You also use a measuring cup if that is what you have available. I've had this cup for several years now. It's still working strong. I got it from I think Real. It's just a regular grocery store. And this scale, I got it off Amazon. It works fantastic. So I will be using this bowl to be measuring my ingredients. And we'll start off with our flour. I'd like to adjust the camera a bit. Yeah. Please say hello if you are joining. It'll be good to know where you are joining from. So for our flour, we'll be using 250 grams of flour. And always with baked foods, it's always good to get your ingredients right. So we are almost there. You can always make a large batch and refrigerate some if you are not using everything together, so that whenever you feel like having homemade pizza, you always have dough ready, and then you can just put on your pizza toppings and you are good to go. So we have our flour here, and to this we'll be adding just half a teaspoon of baking, half a tablespoon, sorry. We'll be adding half a tablespoon of yeast. So you can get this from any grocery store. I got this from from Rive. And we'll measure just, you can measure, if you are using a scale, you can also use 3.5 grams of the yeast. So that is fine. And then we'll go ahead to add our sugar. So the sugar can be close to the yeast because it feeds on sugar. And I like to say that yeast have yeast has sweet tooth. They love sugar. So we'll put it on top. And then we will be placing our salt. We need just half a teaspoon of salt. And please measure your salt. Do not pour your salt directly on top of your the yeast, because it's going to kill it. So we'll just put it at very far away from the yeast and sugar. It doesn't have to get direct contact with the yeast. Once it gets direct contact with the yeast, it's going to die. So we are done adding this. We'll be adding our olive oil. And we need just 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we need our water. And for the water, we need lukewarm water. There are 2 things that kills yeast. The first one is salt, as we all said. It kills yeast very fast. And the other one is hot water. Yeast generally requires warm temperatures to grow, for the cells to grow. However, when the water, or you expose it to hot temperatures, it dies. It kills it immediately. So we'll just be using lukewarm water. And for the lukewarm water, you can just get water that is running from your tap that is quite warm to touch, or you can warm some cold water in the microwave or in a kettle. However, it should be lukewarm. You should be able to touch it. And we'll be measuring that. We need just 250 ml for it. Sorry, we need 165 ml of water to add to our ingredients. Almost there. Yeah. So we have our 135 ml of water. We'll be adding it to our dough. Please, if you have any question, you can ask. So our dry ingredients are here. I'll be working with my hands. My hands are already washed and clean. So I'll be going in to mix the dry ingredients together with the olive oil, and then I add the water. As I said, we need 135 ml of water. I think I previously said something else. We need 135 ml of water. We need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So for the liquid, today we are preparing pizza, and it's shrimp pizza. That's the topping we'll be using. We'll be using shrimps for our toppings. So I'll go in with my hands to mix all the dry ingredients together. And then I add my water. You are welcome, Castor. Yeah. You can also use your electronic. Hi, Nancy. Thank you so much for joining. Today we are making pizza, homemade pizza. with shrimps. And just a quick tick through the ingredients. We used flour. Hi, Jax. Hi, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate all of you here. And I would like to take those who just joined through our ingredients. We are making homemade pizza. It's so easy, so cheap, so convenient to make at home. All we need for our ingredients for our dough, we need just flour. It's best to use bread flour for the pizza dough. However, if you have the regular plain flour at home, it works well as well. And then we need yeast, we need some salt, we need olive oil, and the olive oil gives it that classic Italian taste. And we need water. Yes, shrimp pizza, Casta. Yeah. So as of now, I'm trying to mix up our dough very well in this bowl, and then I'll take it off onto a dough mat to knead it. You can also use an electronic machine which is able to knead to make your dough. However, today for the purpose of demonstration, I would like to use my hands to knead it, so that if you don't have a machine at home, you can conveniently make pizza for yourself, for your wives, for your family and friends to enjoy. You know, Mother's Day is just around the corner, so you can surprise your mother with this. You can surprise your wife with this. They would love it. They would really appreciate it. It'll be great to know where you are joining from. Please, if you are on here, kindly indicate. If you don't mind, indicate where you are joining from. So you just use your hands to mix up the dough, and this is what we have. This is what it looks like. You are welcome, Jakes. This is what it looks like. This is what our dough looks like. We are going to be kneading this. So it's a soft dough. Hi, Priscilla. Thank you so much for joining. You are joining from Hamburg. Thank you so much. Hi, from Germany. Thank you so much, Casta. Yeah, so this is what our dough looks like. We are going to be kneading it for it to look from Munich. Oh, from Eichstätt. Oh, thank you so much. You are just around the corner from Munich. Thank you so much, Jakes. Yeah, so we are going to knead dough. And as we knead it. Hi, Modesta from Berlin. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll be using my pizza mat. My dough mat. My dough mat here. I got this dough mat off Amazon. I've had it for about almost 5 months now. It's working great, and it's able to. They said it's able to hook onto surfaces. It's so far so good. Not on all surfaces, if I should be honest with you, but it works great. It works fantastic for me. So I'll be listing the few ingredients that I got off Amazon in the description box after the live, and if you want to take a look at it or other similar items, you can also do so. Yes, please, we just started days. We just started last week, and we'll be making it every Sunday. So I'm trying to adjust my camera a bit so that you have a better view of it. Yeah. So if you have, you are very much welcome. And the purpose for the live is that we want to have more detailed explanation as to the reasons why we add certain ingredients, or we need our dough certain for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes, like a better explanation as to cooking, like the way we present our foods. Usually in the recorded videos, I want to make it very snappy, very quick for everyone to enjoy, no time to waste. Thank you so much, Ayanfo. I know that most of us are quite busy. So on the weekends, I feel that, exactly, I feel that most of us would have some time to, if we have any questions to ask, and it'll be an opportunity for me to also get to know you. It's an awesome opportunity for me. So we'll be needing our dough. We have it here. If you have, and we need it with the base of our pounds. You just stretch it and put it on top of each other like I'm doing. You can use just one hand to be doing so, and you flip it on top of the other, and then you stretch with the other hand. You flip it on top, you stretch, you flip it on top, you stretch, and then you flip it on top. You can use both palms and use the base as usual, and then you knead it like so. If you don't have an electronic mixer, kindly knead it for about at least 5 minutes. This is a small portion we are making. It's just 250 grams for about a 32 or 36 centimeter large pizza. So if you double the quantity, then if you make it double the quantity, then you are going to knead it for 10 minutes. It's not hard at all, but maybe it's going to increase your heart rate a bit. I'm just kidding. So we'll be doing so for about 5 minutes. I hope we all had a wonderful week. Mine was awesome, by the way. Yeah, so we'll keep kneading and kneading. If you don't have time to knead your own dough, although it's very, very cheap, flour is cheap, salt, water, yeast, very, very cheap, olive oil, quite cheap, not that cheap, but quite cheap. I think that's the most expensive ingredient, but all we need for the olive oil is just 2 tablespoons. So we've been kneading for, I should say, maybe for about 2.5 minutes now, and see how beautiful it's beginning to, wow, that's wonderful. How beautiful our dough is beginning to look. We'll continue to knead it for a couple more minutes. And this process is very, very, very easy. So as I was previously saying, if you are not able to knead your own dough, you can always get already made pizza dough from the grocery store. We are almost there. Just a minute more, and we are good to go. Yeah. So after kneading, we'll be leaving our dough to rise. Yeah. Please share in the comment section if you've enjoyed any Lecker treats. Yeah. So we'll be placing our dough in a bowl. and cover it up and allow it to rise. And we'll be allowing it to rise. Usually we call it proofing. So we'll allow our dough to proof for about 30 minutes. However, because we are having a live session and I want to get things done quite fast, I made one earlier on, which is still in the process of rising, but it's not all done yet. So I'll bring it out when it's ready for us to use. In the meantime, if you will not be using your pizza dough immediately, excuse me. In the meantime, if you are not using your pizza dough immediately, you can be wrapping this in a freezer bag and keep it frozen, or you can also keep it in the refrigerator. No, you are not late. Today we are making pizza. We are making pizza. Shrimp pizza today. It's so easy. We just finished making our dough. And as I was saying, for the dough, if you are not, we are supposed to leave it to rise for about 30 minutes. But I made some earlier on, which is still proofing. And to proof, it simply means to leave it and allow it to rise. Thank you so much, Benda. Excuse me. Yeah, so we'll allow it to rise for 30 minutes. However, I have one in my oven that is proven. You turn off your oven. Please do not turn it on. Just cover it up with any cling film or just a kitchen tissue. You cover it up with a kitchen tissue, and then you allow it to rise in your oven. If you are not going to make your pizza right away, however, you have a dough or you made extra batches of the dough, it will be always great to keep it safe. You can keep it in your fridge. You wrap it with a cling film or just a freezing bag. However, make it airtight as possible. And then you keep it in the fridge for at most a week in your fridge. If you want to keep it longer, it's best to keep it in a freezer bag, and then we'll be keeping it in the freezer, deep freezer, which can last up to 3 months. So because I already have one in my oven proofing, rising, we'll be saving this in the freezer to use some other time. So I have a freezer bag here. You can always get a freezer bag in any grocery store of your choice. It's very convenient when it comes to saving your fruits, vegetables, beef, chicken, fish in your freezer. And then I try to push out the air as much as possible, and then I seal it up. I'm trying to get the air out as much as possible. So here is our dough, looking extremely beautiful. You can indicate the date and the time on it so that you know you don't exceed the time you are supposed to keep it in the freezer. And then we just keep it in the freezer. So we are done with our dough. So just for a recap, we used flour, we used olive oil, salt, yeast, and water. Just 5 simple ingredients was all we needed to make our dough. So as we are waiting for our dough to proof, we'll be working on our pizza topping. And for most pizzas, we use the pizza marinara, and that is simply a tomato-based sauce. It's simply tomatoes, oregano, or any Italian seasoning of choice, some garlic powder, pepper, white pepper or black pepper powder. Hi, Betty. Yay, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. So you can use any seasoning of your choice in addition to the tomatoes to make your pizza marinara. It's so cheap. Once you make your pizza marinara, you can have it with even spaghetti. And whenever I'm making my pizza marinara, I make it in larger quantities and keep some frozen. Thank you so much, Betty. I keep some of the marinara frozen, And whenever I feel like having pizza, I just take it out, defrost it, and off I go. For today, we are not making pizza marinara. We are making a cream-based topping. Sorry, a cream-based sauce for our topping, because we are using shrimps for our pizza toppings. You can use anything of your choice. You can use salami, you can use chicken, you can season your chicken and then fry it in a pan, and then use it in addition to other vegetables of your choice. Or you can simply have vegetable topping pizza. It tastes absolutely wonderful. But today we are using shrimps as our toppings. And I have some shrimps here. I got it from the Asian store. It was frozen and I have defrosted it. And it's good to wipe it. It's good to wipe the shrimps to have it as dry as possible before we marinate it. And for our marinade, all we need is some white pepper powder. If you have black pepper powder, please go for it. Use it. I have white pepper powder, so that is what I'm going to use today. And then we'll be using some salt. So just these two ingredients, and we will just drizzle some olive oil on top of it, and we are good to go. So I have about 20 pieces of shrimps here. Is the medium-sized ones. I'm going to drizzle it. I'm going to be seasoning it with about half a teaspoon of white pepper powder. That's good. We'll be using about half a teaspoon of salt. Not much. And just a drizzle of olive oil. Yes, you can get it in. You can get a white pepper powder in any grocery store of your choice. This is the one I'm using. I'm not sure. I think I got it from either Kaufland or Lidl. I'm not quite sure where I got it from. I think I got it from. Oh yeah, it's from Lidl. So I got this one from Lidl. You can get it in Rive, in Kaufland, Royal, Netto, any grocery store of your choice. If you are watching from other parts of any other country aside Germany, you can get white pepper powder from any store of your choice. And in case you are not getting it, please just marinate it with salt. It's okay. Yeah. So this is good. Oh, I missed the message. Please, can you, someone just sent a message and I missed it. Can you please send it again? So I'll be using my hands and then wash it very well afterwards. Make sure the shrimps are well coated with a seasoning, and then we set it aside to use later. So for the shrimps, it has already been deveined, and you can see from the carton. Oh, okay, thank you so much too. So the shrimps has already been deveined. As you can see, the vein has been removed from it. In case you are, please, it's best to use shrimps without the shells on. So in case you buy your shrimps with shells on top, on it, please do well to remove it as well as the tail. Especially when you are giving it to kids. But if you are taking it yourself and you prefer to have shells on top of your shrimps, that's fine. Please do whatever that suits your taste. It's good to cook to enjoy. Yeah, so I'm washing my hands. And then we'll be starting our sauce. So for the sauce, all we need is whipping cream. Sorry, we need whipping cream. Again, olive oil. You can't have your pizza without olive oil. Even for the marinara sauce, it's best to use olive oil for it. We'll use some white pepper powder for some heat. We'll use some Italian seasoning. If you don't have it, please leave it out. It's optional. We'll add just half a teaspoon of vegetable stock, and then minced garlic. That's all. I'll be indicating the quantities as we go. Yeah. So we turn on our heat and we'll allow it to be hot before we add our minced garlic. Just about a tablespoon of olive oil is fine. Please give this live session a thumbs up. It means a lot to me. It helps YouTube recommend it to other people as well. It's almost getting hot. We'll still wait for it. So all we need is our Schlagsahne, and that is whipping cream. And we need about 80 ml of that. We need about 80 ml of the Schlagsahne. I need to quickly get a kitchen knife and cut it up. Sorry for that. So I'm back. And we are going to measure about 80 ml of this. And as usual, you can always get the Schlagsahne from any store of your choice, any store at all. Yeah, so it's good. Our oil is very hot. We'll be adding our garlic. Is chopped. And I use 3 cloves of garlic for it. So we'll be adding it. If it's too much, it's not going to be so strong. However, if you do not like garlic that much, please use just 1. So we'll add it. And we'll allow this to saute for just a few seconds. For it to release its aroma. Yeah. Well, for the sauce, we also need some Parmesan cheese. And for our topping, before we add our shrimps, we'll also be using some mozzarella. So it's looking good. We'll then add our whipping cream. As I said earlier, we need 80 ml of whipping cream. It's looking all good. We'll allow it to evaporate a bit, and then we add Parmesan cheese. But before then, I'll be adding my Italian seasoning. Just 1/4 teaspoon is fine. For that, I add my white. Please cook this on medium heat. So I add about 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. And then the vegetable stock. For this as well, just a quarter of a teaspoon. If you don't have vegetable stock, please do well to add some salt to it. We mix everything well together. And please double the amount of ingredients if you are making a larger batch. I'll be leaving the list of ingredients in the description box after this session. So that's good. It's thickening up. I'm not sure if you can see well. This is what it's looking like. It's beginning to thicken up. So once it begins to thicken up, we'll be adding our Parmesan cheese to it. And at this point, I turn off the heat. For our Parmesan cheese, we need just 2 tablespoons of it. And then we mix everything well together. And that is all. It doesn't take much to make this white sauce. There we have it. This is what our sauce looks like. It's thick. And as my rule of thumb, whenever I make a 36 size pizza, I use just 2 tablespoons of pizza marinara for it, or 2 tablespoons of white sauce if I'm using shrimps as my topping. And this is just about 2 tablespoons for the sauce. So we are done. We allow it to cool down completely before we proceed. And at this point, we'll be checking on our dough, and we'll be rolling it out and continue. I'm trying to clear this place a bit, and then we continue. So we need a dough mat again. And I previously said that before the start of this session, I made some pizza dough, and it's risen. It has doubled up in size. It's risen like for about 40 minutes now. And this is what it looks like. So we are going to take the air out and then roll it out. And as you can see, it looks very stretchy. Very, very stretchy. You can use your hands to roll it out, or you can use a rolling pin. Whatever works best for you, please do so. And I'll be rolling it out into this pan. This is a pizza pan I got off Amazon. I'll be linking it as well. In case you want to check it out, please feel free to do so. And then we roll it out with a rolling pin. As you roll it, you begin to see that there are a little bit of air trapped in the dough. Please do not be concerned about it. It's a good sign that our dough is actually good. And whenever you are rolling it out, please, you can roll it out to any thickness of your choice. If you want a thick crust pizza, please don't roll it too thin. You can roll it for about maybe 1 centimeter thick. But if you want thin crust, half a centimeter should work for you. So we are done. We'll be placing this in our pan. This is what we had. We'll place it in our pan. And try to position it very well. And the reason why I love using this pan is because it has holes underneath, and the holes enables you to have very crispy crust. So that's the main reason why I love this pan. It's awesome. Yeah. So you try to bring the dough, you spread it out to the sides to give it a raise a bit, a lift a bit with your fingers, like I'm doing. And then we'll be placing our sauce on top. I need to get... Please, did I miss anything? Any message? I don't think so. So we'll be placing white sauce on top. It's always best to use a spoon. And as I said, this is like 2 tablespoons of white sauce. It's all gone. We'll be spreading it out evenly. And if you want, please, Ayamfo, what did you say? What did you ask earlier, please? If you can't measure, oh, you mean the thickness of the crust? Please, Ayamfo, did you mean the thickness of the crust in relation? Did you ask your question in relation to the thickness of the crust? Yes. Just imagine how thick you want your bite to be, and that should be fine. It's not going to rise that much because we rolled it out. So we are done spreading out our topping, and see how beautiful it's already looking. It looks amazingly good. And we have to be preheating our oven. We should have started earlier. You should start preheating your oven. You should start preheating your oven when you are making your sauce, so that by the time you finish adding your topping, you are good to go. And we'll be placing some cheese on top, and we add our shrimps. I'll get my cheese ready. And for the cheese, I'll be adding about 100 grams of it. But you can add more if you want your pizza to be very cheesy. You can always add more to it. So again, I'll be measuring it. I love to have my measurements right. And in case you did not join from the beginning, I said that you can always use a scale, a kitchen scale, or a measuring cup, which has these indications made on it. You can use them to get your baking ingredients right. However, if you would ask me in between the two which one to go for, it's always best to go for the scale, as it gives you precise numbers. It's too much. Just a bit more. Yeah, and that's fine. So we'll sprinkle that on top. In case it's not much for you, please feel free to add more. You can always add extra Parmesan cheese to it, and that should be fine. I think I'll add it some more for the purpose of this video. And especially if you have kids eating, they'll ask you to to add extra cheese on top. Yeah, I'm not sure if you see it well. This is what we have. And then we'll be going in with shrimps. So for our oven, we need 200 degrees, and you can use your fan oven. And if you are baking it in your fan oven at 200 degrees Celsius, you should leave it in for about 8 to 10 minutes. As you always know, every oven is different. So please, you know your oven best. Try to regulate it when it's in. Keep an eye on it. So we'll be placing our shrimps on top. Like so. And as I said, you can get creative with your toppings. Please, if you just joined, we are making pizza today. We are making shrimp pizza. And we use just few ingredients that you can easily find at home. To add a bit of color to it, we'll be adding some fresh parsley. And this is optional, but if you have parsley around, please add some to it. Just a bit of it. It makes it look more appealing. Very inviting and pleasing to the eyes. And if you don't know what parsley is, this is a close-up shot. A close-up look at parsley. This is what parsley looks like. Yeah. You can add as much or as little as you prefer. Thank you, CA Global. Please, if you have any question, you can ask. I'm not doing this live session alone. I'm doing it with you. So let's keep it interactive. this is what we have. Looks really nice. If you prefer, you can add more cheese to it, but for me it's good. We'll check our oven to see if it's ready. If not, we wait for it to get heated up. It's not yet ready. We'll be clearing this place up and wait for the oven to get ready, and then we talk. That's interesting. I have to look into that, but I think it does. With any green leafy vegetable. I have to look into the specifics of it. Yeah. So we are done. It's very, very, very simple to make your pizza at home. As I said, it's okay. Yes, sure. Next week, I'll be telling you the health benefits of parsley. God willing, next week. That's a great assignment for me. I like it. Yeah, so the best thing to do is to get your oven heated before your pizza your pizza is assembled. But as you can see, our oven is still heating up. It should be ready soon. Just a couple of minutes, and then we'll place it in. It goes in for about 8 to 10 minutes, and then we are good to go. We'll be enjoying it. Yeah. Is Priscilla still here? And Nancy? Yeah. If Nancy is here, you can say, you can share with us what topping you like best for pizza. And Betty as well. Yeah, I think our oven is ready. So we'll be placing it into the oven and see how beautiful this looks. It looks so beautiful. Very beautiful. We'll be placing it into the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes, and we will check on it. So I'm placing it into the oven. Yeah. Shrimps and tuna. Wow. Wow. Yes, the outcome is beautiful. Do you like the shrimps and tuna together, or you like the toppings like separately? How do you like it? You said shrimps and pizza, but I want to know if you like it separately or it should be together on top of on the same plate. Oh, separate. Wow, that's nice. That's nice. And I guess you like it spicy as well. You know, if you have fresh chilies and you want your pizza to be very spicy, you can just cut it into smaller sizes and then place them on top. Hi, Valentina. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Today, for those who just joined, today we are making pizza. We made our dough, and I have it here. I'll be keeping it in the freezer, but I left it on my Hi, Nancy. Yay! Please, Nancy, write it again. It just went off so that I share it with salami with lots of veggies. Wow, nice. Nancy, please share the health benefits of parsley so that we all know. Hi, Priscilla. Thank you so much for still being here. Someone asked a very good question of the health benefits of parsley, and he gave me the assignment to look up into it and bring the results next week. But it looks as if Nancy solved the issue. So please, Nancy, if you would be so kind to share it again so that we all see the health benefits of parsley, it will be wonderful. Yeah. So we prepared our dough ourselves. We have it here. Yes, please. Yes, Nancy wrote the health benefits of parsley. Binda. I love tuna. I love tuna too. Especially when you pair it up with onions. It tastes wonderfully amazing. Tuna pizza with some onions on top. It's fantastic. And the good part is you just have your tuna already prepared in a can. You just take it out and pour the liquid out to make sure it's extra, like it doesn't have much moisture in it, so that your pizza that doesn't get wet, doesn't get. Yeah, Nancy shared it with us. Please look into the chat. You can easily find it. I think if you scroll up the chat, you can find it. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I think my my assignment has been solved. Yes, the parsley it's very, very common in the stores. You'll find petersilie written on top on the packaging, and you can have it very fresh in with sand in a sand pot, very, very fresh, or you can have them come in packs like this. And as you see, they've written Krause petersilie. So the most important thing is the petersilie, and it's parsley. So if you are English speaking and you don't know what parsley is in Germany, it's this. This is how it looks like. Some are a bit larger than this, but this is what I got my hands on. It's best if you can get the one that. Thank you so much, I am for. Yeah, it's best if you get your hands on the one that comes with in a sand pot. It's best to have that one, so that you know it's always best to get something that comes from the source every time. But if you don't get this, is a good replacement for it. And if you don't have this, you can also use the dry ones. If you go to the spices section of any grocery store, you'll also find the dried parsley. And I think they should have, yeah, you find it at the spices section of a store, any grocery store. So our pizza has been in for about a couple of minutes now. So for those who just joined, I said we are making pizza, and we made our dough, which looks wonderful. I made an extra one, so that's what we are using for the pizza, and I'll be keeping this in my freezer to use. The more it stays on this countertop, the more the dough rises. And I said at the beginning that it's always important to have yeast for your bread doughs, for your pizza dough, because it functions it feeds on sugar. So we added sugar to it, and it feeds on the sugar to double up. Yes, it's rich in antioxidants and nutrients like vitamin A, K, and C. Thank you so much, Nancy. Parsley is rich in antioxidants and vitamin A, K, and C. So that is it. So all of us have learned something new today, and I hope we keep it. Yeah, exactly. It's so great. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah. So we had this. Before I continue, we used sugar and yeast, and I said that the yeast feeds on sugar for it to rise, and that's it's feeding on the sugar. It releases carbon dioxide, some alcohols, and also multiplies. And this allows the dough to rise for us to have a very light and spongy textured dough result for our bread, for our pizza. That is the main reason we used yeast. So because I don't want this to rise, I'll be keeping it in my freezer right away, because I'll be using it on another day to to satisfy my craving. So just a second, please. Yeah, so it's gone. It's best to put it in right away, or at least 30 minutes before, so that it doesn't overwork. So that is it for those who just joined. We used flour, we used oil. Wow, our pizza is already smelling very good. Yes. Hi EKG, we are making pizza today, and we made our own dough. We used flour, we used olive oil. It's always best to use olive oil for your pizza because it gives you that classic Italian taste to your pizza. And then we used yeast, we used salt, and then sugar. And we used about 135 ml of lukewarm water, not hot water, because yeast are killed by one, salt, and the second is hot water. Although it needs a warm environment to rise, it is killed by hotter environment. So hot water will kill your yeast. Salt will kill your yeast. Your salt doesn't have to come into direct contact with your yeast. Yeah, so those are the basic ingredients. Yes, it's especially difficult to handle the fresh ones, the fresh yeast. You need to activate it before adding it to your ingredients. Thank you so much, Jax. Thank you so much. Yeah, you need to activate your fresh yeast before adding it to your ingredients. If you do not activate it, it's not going to rise. So you need to pre-activate it with your water first for it to... Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Nancy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you see, as it rises, when you are activating it with the water and you keep it in a warm place, you see that you have this frothy film on top, and that shows you that your yeast is active. If you don't have that frothy film, it means your yeast is dead. Please do not add it to the rest of your ingredients because it's not going to work. Our pizza is ready. I need to take it out as fast as possible. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. And see how beautiful it looks? Because I was talking, I wasn't keeping an eye on it, but it looks amazing. Don't you love it? Tell me, don't you love it? It looks really good. Yeah. Yeah. So we will allow it to cool off a bit and then cut through and see how it is. So as I was previously saying, that is it for yeast. For the fresh yeast, you need to please keep it in mind, always activate it. However, if you want your life to be quite simple, and you can use the dry yeast, dry active yeast. So for that, you can always add it to your ingredients, but make sure that yes, the pizza looks so amazing. It looks so amazing. Just make sure you keep an eye on it as it's in the oven so that you don't have these on other side. But it's always there's the pizza on top. It's always good to have something like this. It looks really delicious, and I hope we had a crusty base as well. Yeah. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. So I'll try and cut through for us to see. And I previously said that for our topping, you can always use pizza marinara. And it's so easy to make your own marinara at home. All you need is tomatoes. You blend it up, or the chopped ones, any of them. You need olive oil, again for the classy Italian taste. You need your you need some garlic powder, some white seasoning. Thank you so much, Ayamfo. And this is my pizza cutter. I think I got this from TK Maxx. Yeah, from TK Maxx. Yeah, it's so affordable. I got it from TK Maxx. You would want to look up TK Maxx for it, or you can also find one on Amazon. I'll try to find the same brand on Amazon, and if I do, I'll link it up in the description if you want to take a look at it. Yeah, so this is how it looks. And as I was saying, for the marinara, you need some onion, garlic. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you so much, Binda. And as we all know, kids love to eat pizza. So if you make this for kids, and we know Mother's Day is just around the corner, you make this for your mothers, you make this for your wives. Oh my goodness. The men on here, please try to make this for your wives, yeah? And for your mothers as well. They'll love it. There's nothing that beats the taste of homemade food. They will love it. They will love it. So we'll let it cool off a bit, and then I show you how it looks like. It's so hot. And another alternative to a pizza sauce is the white sauce we made today. All you need is all you need for your white sauce is whipping cream. You need some vegetable seasoning. If you don't have the vegetable seasoning, you use some salt in replacement of that. And then we need some Parmesan cheese. And this is how the Parmesan cheese, you can use the fresh one and grate it yourself. If you have available, it's fantastic. If not, you can always get this one. And I got this from Kaufland. There's a Kaufland brand. It says Parmigiano. This is how it looks like. Yeah. And then some, again, olive oil for it. That's all. You don't need much. Let's take a piece to see how it turned out. Oh, so hot. So hot. This is how it looks. This is how our pizza looks. See the crust? So crispy. And that is why I love this plate for making my pizza. Because of the holes underneath, it allows you to have a crispy crust, sorry. And this is how our pizza looks. Yeah. As usual, I'll take a taste bite for all of us. But it's so hot, I don't want to burn myself. So in the meantime, as it's cooling off, this is what we have. This is what we have. Isn't it beautiful? And the fact that you can also easily make this at home makes it absolutely delicious and enjoy it. Yeah, so in the meantime, as this cools off for us to taste it, I would like to know the kind of videos you would want, the kind of recipes you would want us to make in the coming week. So for example, for next week, what would you like for us to make on the live cooking session? Please, it'll be great to share your ideas so that we put it to work, and then it will be more fun next week. So as you can see, our shrimps are done, very well seasoned. There is no need to pre-cook your shrimps before placing it on top of your pizza. There is no need to do that because shrimps do not take long in cooking at all. So please, if you would want us to host any recipe here, please share in the comment section, in the live chat, so that we make it next week. Yeah, I think it's cooled down. I'll be taking a bite for all of us. It's yes. It has a crispy crust. It has a crispy crust. I just can't resist it. Please, if you're making it for your wives and mothers, don't be tempted to take a taste. I'm sure you will finish it before you present it to them. Yeah, it has a crispy crust to it. It sure does. See, just see it. Is this not beautiful? Yeah. It's absolutely wonderful. However, if you don't have this plate, please feel free to place it on your baking pan, and it should also work fine. Should work fine. Yeah. And I'll be having my pizza today with the good old caramels. You can have this with fruit juice. You can have this with Coke, Pepsi, anything of your choice. You can make your own homemade juice, pineapple juice. It should be amazing. Yeah. So how best can you spend your weekend than having your own homemade pizza and a glass of malt? Thank you so much for joining today's live session. I appreciate all of you. Just a sip, please. So delicious. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate all of you. And we hope something more easy to make by men. Sure, we'll do that. We'll do that next week. Something more easy to make by men. Okay, just because Mother's Day is around. Cake nut. Okay, Priscilla. Sure, we'll put that into work. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. So we'll try to improve as time goes on, bring you amazing content, keep our live session interactive, and hope to have more people. Please do share with your family and friends. Last week we had it around 6:30 in the evening, 6:30 CET, Central Eastern Time, and a few people indicated that it was quite late, so we decided to have it earlier. So going forward, we'll have it on Sundays at 4 p.m. Central Eastern Time, 2 p.m. GMT. And we hope that more people can join, spread the news with your family and friends, and let's grow together. Let's grow here on Lecker Treats as we make simple, easy, and lecker recipe. One may say, what is lecker? Lecker is simply a German word which means delicious. So we make simple, easy, lecker meals that is so replicable, very replicable. Thank you so much for the love and support, and we hope to see you again next week Sunday, same time. We'll be sending out the links earlier so that you have it, and then when you we share the link with you. Please do well to set a reminder so that you are prompted before the start of the live. Yeah, so that is all for today. I appreciate you all and see you in the next one. Bye. My pizza wants to say bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you, Vinda. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Jakes. Bye, Vinda. Yeah. Thank you so much. So from my pizza and I, it's bye. Thank you to Ayamfo. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. And God bless you all. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye. A blessed week to you too. CA Global. Yeah, thank you.